Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we're going to do a quick little run over of how one of these sight lasers work. If you're watching some of the previous videos, that's how the contractors set the depth for the footers and everything. So I have one of these through work. I'm trying to get this gravel as close as possible before they build the walls, because we used machines dumping it over the sides here. So what I'm going to do is set this laser to the bottom of the 2-inch foam board that capped off for the inside of the block. And then once I get that pretty much square, we'll come in here after the walls are built, and then we'll pull strings so I can put where the interior walls are going to be so we can lay out the plumbing. So you want it as level as possible. Once we get all the plumbing in and then all the conduit for the electrical stuff and plugs where we're going, then we'll get it real nice and flat, packed in, and then we'll put a 2-inch foam board. It's where we're still undecided if we're going with that product, the heat sheet stuff where you step it in. I've been in discussions with a couple different manufacturers, so not 100% sure what direction we're going on that, but there's going to be a lot of videos coming up on Infor heat, so if that's something you're into, make sure you stay tuned. So we're going to set this right here, and then this laser is super sensitive. You got to fine tune it. So it's spinning now. Once it's out of its circumference, it stops spinning there. So right here you can see it's saying it has to go down a little bit. So we're gonna keep messing with this, get this thing fine tuned, and then we'll check some grade through here. So I got that laser tuned in pretty good. So we're gonna go around and check all the elevations. This is just like a trial and error. I still have to dig through here and put the plumbing, but like I was saying, I wanna get it as level as possible. One, for those guys to work on it safely, and two, so I know where to lay out my plumbing and put up false walls so you have measurements to pull off, because it's pretty hard to get the plumbing exactly, you know, where it needs to be. You obviously got to be pretty good with a tape measure and understand how to read blueprints. So a lot of guys mess this up on jobs. So we're going to check a whole bunch of this perimeter of this area here. Brandon and I did a lot of this by just the eyesight the other day, and then I decided to set the laser up, and we're going to try to get it as close as possible before they put the walls in. So this part right here is high. So what I'll go and I'll mark that with a can of paint, and then I'll come in with a Toro Dingo 1000. We use that at work for going inside buildings and stuff. I'll use that to cross this foundation wall here so I don't break any of them top block there. And I'll just skim some of this out. And then that way, whenever it's low enough, after we get all the plumbing and stuff in, then we'll come in and do the actual final grade. And that's where they sell a product called heat sheet. And you have to actually have 1B gravel underneath it, so it's super level, so the foam padding doesn't rock. They're 2x4 square foam pads, and you lay them out like a floor symmetrically, and then you run all the PEX tubing right down through the channels, so it keeps the PEX below the concrete and the wire goes on top of it. So when you cut your expansion joints, you don't have to worry about the chance of whenever you're pouring a concrete, sometimes the PEX piping floats up into the concrete and you don't know until it's too late. So it's more money than 2-inch foam board, but it's very user friendly, and I like the fact that it's a lot safer. That would be catastrophic to spend tens of thousands of dollars on finished concrete floors and have to jackhammer them up because someone cut through them with a concrete saw. So I'm going to check this all out, and then we'll go over and check the garage out too. So I just wanted to double check the laser. So when you're doing construction, you really got to pay attention to elevation heights. We're doing 4 inches of concrete inside the living quarters of the house. I decided to go to 5 inches of concrete over here inside of the garage because I have a heavy pickup truck, stuff like that. I just want it to have a little bit more peace of mind with a thicker floor. So this elevation that I shot here will be 1 inch lower. So now I have to adjust this up. By adjusting this up is making it deeper. So you want that steady beep. And like I said, we're just trying to get it close. So now I'm down 1 inch lower over here because of the 5-inch thick floor instead of the 4-inch. So we'll check all these elevations here, and I do believe it. Some of this is high. So this is actually, see, it could be deceiving to your eyes. See, some of this is high right here, so I'll have to back drag this with the Toro. This is another spot that I thought was high here too. So what we'll do is fire up the dingo, and I'll back drag some of this over that way because I could tell it's lower because I could see it below the foam board against the wall. So you can see I took a pretty aggressive bucket out of there, and it's still almost right on grade. So I think we're gonna just maintain this position right now till after we get all the plumbing in, because we'll have to bring in plate tampers, and there's a very good chance it's gonna all shrink down a little bit once it's all compacted several times. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I wanna have a little bit of a barrier so I can get that 1B limestone chip in there and then just fan everything out, make it real smooth with a landscape rake. So I appreciate you guys sticking around, checking out how I get my grade and elevations. These are tips and tricks that I've learned over time. So hopefully it's helpful and useful to someone else. And you know, the next step here is we're going to be waiting for the building material. They're going to start framing the exterior of the building so we can get some weight in the walls, and then that's when we'll start doing the other plumbing and stuff on the inside. So like always, we appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.